What's up, YouTube and other privileged countries with internet? This is your boy Devtrast coming at you with a fourth devlog. That's numero quattro for the series Space Imperialist Idle, or series for the game that I'm creating, Space Imperialist Idle, which is a space clicker set in space. And not too much to report on this week, other than it was pretty productive, but I did have 2 0 days again. So I'm hoping that I'm out of this slump that I've been feeling, but I think I'll need to do some, mental exercises or like some yoga or something to get out of this funk.
And release all of those sounds that are trapped in your mind.
Because it's no bueno to have 2 0 days and, just feeling lethargic. But I had a pretty good breakthrough and some really good development, and my brain is expanding with the amount of knowledge that I'm getting in C#. So that felt really good. Had some good collaboration with Reddit that we'll go over. But the big thing that I accomplished this week was kind of learning how prefabs work. And so prefabs, let's summon the infinite Devtrast, because I'm going to need some visual aids for this one. So here we go. Shablam, there they are. All the Devtrast, all the time. So let's bring it up here. Let me show you my game so far. So right here we have our game. You'll see this numadd asset is in blue. That means it's a prefab. Shabooty. And if you don't know what a prefab is, think of it like an asset that is reusable. So think of it like a class, I guess. So in my last devlog, I think it was the last one, I talked about OOP, so object-oriented programming, where you have like a class, like a warrior or a rogue or something, and all of those classes, each class has its own distinct characteristics about it. So think of prefabs as an asset that you can reuse and throw into your game, multiple times, or that has some common traits that you want to duplicate. And so prefabs are the way to go for that. Now, I didn't know what prefabs were, and I'll show you what prefabs are right now. So when you play the game, what I added and what I really pursued this week was these little numbers that come up. And what these numbers are going to do, and you'll see that they're very bunched up, and they're different colors. The numbers themselves don't actually mean anything right now, but what it's going to do is every time I click on that's not good. There's some clipping there. So every time you click on a planet, I want each of these numbers to represent, what's going up. And every time that there's automation, going through, there's going to be, a plus whatever it is, plus however much. So when you're clicking, it'll be, be +1 to cache. So it'll be a +1 that's green, and yada, yada. So I learned about prefabs because initially I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to create a text, a thing of text, and it's going to appear. And it's, every time you get cache, it'll be a +1 green. Every time you get ore, it'll be +1 in orange, and I wanted a bunch of them to come off this planet. And I thought, okay, well, I want them to be kind of randomized all over the planet. So I thought I'll have, 9 quadrants, the, 1, 2, 3 here, 3 in the center, and 3 at the bottom that it'll start from. So what I made on the first day is I had it, randomize what that start position was. And I didn't make any additional text variables. It was just one text variable, and it had, 9 different animations, or maybe I started out with 6. But I realized when I did that, it would do that. It would, when you clicked on it, it would make the text appear of +1, and it would go upwards, because I made a simple animation in Unity of text going from whatever position it started at and going up, to the top of the planet. So that wasn't too hard. However, because it was only one text variable, and before I learned about prefabs, it would just, every time I clicked, it would randomize the start position, and it would override the previous animation, because that one text variable that one text asset could only handle, doing one thing at a time. And so it just did not turn out at all how I wanted. So I posted on the incremental game subreddit, hey, here's my situation, here's what I want to do. And luckily there was tons of responses. So thank you to anybody, that's watching this that was involved in that Reddit thread. Read all of your responses. All of them pretty much helped. But a big thing that came up was prefabs. And so learned about prefabs through this guy. Let me look at my Excel. So yeah, Kupala. So Kupala has a video. I don't think he's very big, but he's got, I think, a couple thousand subscribers on YouTube. Did a really good video on float and damage text. And float and damage text is the mechanic that I was looking for. So I did some float and damage text. I followed that video. And initially when I did it, this is the text right here. And so it was two parts. So it started with this one, the player, and this is actually what's attached to the prefab. What gets linked to the prefab. So essentially it's if the get mouse button down, the left mouse button gets pushed, then it's going to run this function hit now. So this hit now function instantiates the prefab, it puts it on a position, and then it also makes it active, and it also makes this controller. It gets what the range of movement for the actual prefab is going to be, and it gives it a color, and that's randomized right now. But I'm going to replace these random variables with variables that will determine, if it's ore or if it's cash or parts or goods, and that's going to determine the color. The position I need to play with too, because right now it's just bunched up in the center. You'll see here when I play this, it's all bunched up, which that doesn't look too good, right? But we're going to need to change that. And we're going to need to change the fact that you can click on it, and by clicking, it does not allow you to hit this. So this actual object. So I'll need to figure out how to do that. So got this, and then it destroys it down here at the bottom. And then the controller just has like some transforms in there. And so this is, what I'll have to play with in order to do the update for the position on it. So initially when I started this video, I was like, oh, cool. Well, instead of this, hitting the mouse button down, I'll just add it to my planet click script, which when I did that, because of, I believe, all of these serialized fields, I think that broke it. I'm not really sure, but I could not get it to work when I did this, or even if I left it here and then, had hit now, if I deleted this and then did this hit now and, called it numadd player dot hit now, do that in the planet script, it didn't work. So I just made it exactly as he showed it, and I was able to get it implemented and working correctly that way, which is good. I'm glad I did it that way, because now I can, add this script, the numadd player script, to any planet that I add instead of just the Founder's Planet click, which I think I'll need to, I'll definitely do some planet prefabs for sure going forward, and that'll help because I'll be able to add, this script to it, and I'll be able to have all the planets have, certain characteristics. So, prefabs are huge for me this week, but so that was that. And what else did we do? Let's see. So I just did that. Also, edited and uploaded the Devlog 3. And then, so once I created this initial script, I couldn't really get it working, and I knew I needed to separate it out. So I just got it separated out a couple days ago, and then got it really working yesterday. So now I just need to assign the variables to get them updated with what they are and have the colors assigned. So you can see the colors here. I'll need to make this 4 and go from there. But really cool. Really, really beneficial week for me. Prefabs are going to be huge, especially once I go into the unexplored space stuff, because I'll be able to do different variants of prefabs of stuff that you can find in space, whether that's crashed ships or planets or, space stations or, whatever. I'm not really sure. So if you guys have any, ideas that you want to throw in there that of things that you can find in space, whether it's debris or, anything, I'm open to any ideas at this point, even ships or loot. I think I'll have some pirates in there, you'll be able to fight stuff. You'll be able to trade. You'll find some ally fleets and whatnot. But yeah, so really, really beneficial week this week. I was really happy with it. Even with 2 0 days, it was kind of crummy, and I started off on the back foot. I felt like when I first added this +1 text animation, and then it didn't get overridden, or it got overridden every time it got clicked, and so I was like, I don't know what to do here. And then it was kind of intimidating, all the answers I got on the Reddit thread, because they're talking about a lot of different things that I didn't understand, like instantiating, prefabs. There was a couple other, different terms in C# that I'm not familiar with. So that was intimidating. But as soon as I watched that Kupala video, made me feel a lot better. And then I did look at like 1 or 2 different float damage text videos, but Kupala's video laid it out exactly what I needed. And I was just able to, pretty much take his script and modify it to where I needed it to be for my game. So thanks, Kupala. I don't know if you're going to watch this, but that really helped me. So that was awesome. Thank you for that. And yeah, and then on 0 days, unfortunately, I don't have any awesome commercials that I looked at, but I have been looking at a lot of like creepypasta stuff and like internet iceberg charts. So iceberg charts are a cool meme that I feel like are, pretty new, and they're definitely making their rounds. They're rising. And so there's been a lot of YouTube videos that I've looked up of just like iceberg lists of, creepy videos, or the internet, which was cool because it had like stuff from like 2 Girls, 1 Cup way back when that was hot. Or what else was there? Like the George Bush Flash cartoons, that was big back in the day. Just a lot of nostalgic points. And then because I was searching all this like creepy, weird stuff, it led me to the Godzilla NES creepypasta. And I don't know if you know anything about that, but that's probably one of the coolest creepypastas I've ever encountered. So if you haven't seen that, if creepy is your thing and you like creepypastas or like scary stuff, then by all means, go check that out if you don't know anything about it. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this week. Pretty short one. So next week, we'll definitely get something reported a little bit bigger. I'm hoping to get this text stuff all worked out so that it'll be clean on the planet. I want to get the goods implemented permanently, and then we can start doing the unexplored space stuff. And I'm really stoked to work on a different scene than to just be looking at this home planet. And I want to be able to start adding this stuff in, because then the prototype's really going to start coming together. So thanks for watching this week. We will see you next Sunday, and have a great night, day, whenever you're watching it.